Hi guys, very good morning to one and all, and greetings of the day. Myself, Professor Vijay Tavardhan, and please welcome to my YouTube channel to learn the subject called as engineering graphics. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about how to solve a problem on projection of solids in your booklets, that is called as manual drawings, using your grid books. Let us consider an example problem. A square pyramid 35 millimeter sides of base and 60 millimeter axis length rests on HP on one of its corners of the base, such that the two base edges containing the corner on which it rests make equal inclination with HP. Draw the projections of the pyramid when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree and appears to be inclined to VP at 45 degree. So according to the given question, so one can understand that the apparent angle is directly given in the question. And also, let me show you how exactly the problem is going to look like in the real conditions. Yes, guys, now you can see this is what the square pyramid, since the base shape is square, that's why it is called as a square pyramid. Now in the question, it is clearly mentioned the sides is 35 millimeter and the axis height from the base to the apex is 60 millimeter is resting on one of its base corners. Okay. Now let me show you what is the base corner. When I'm going to have a solid like this, you can see the two lateral surfaces, you can see it from the front, and the square is going to look like this. That is a corner resting square. It is going to look like this with all the slant edges visible properly. Now, draw the projections of the pyramid when the axis is inclined to HP at 40 degree. Now you can see when it is going to be resting on one of its corners, when we are rotating in clockwise direction, now you can see it is resting on the corner, the C. I am just going to show you that clearly. Okay, it is resting on corner C such that the two base edges resting on the corner makes equal inclination. That is, you can see that in this direction, the CB and OCD both makes an equal inclination with respect to the horizontal plane. That is going to be satisfied in the question properly. Now, 40 degree to HP inclination is given. This is what the front view is going to look like, and this is what the top view is going to look like. And then the appears to be inclined to VP at an angle of 45 degrees. This is how the third rotation is going to be. And this is what the top and front views you are going to get it in this position. Now let me show you how to solve the same in your grid box. Now to start with the grid box, now we know that we have to construct a square of 35 millimeter size with a corner resting, for which you can use your 2H pencils and you can draw a constructional line starting from this point over here like this. And once this constructional line is developed, then what you can do is locate a point on this line, and then from that point keep the protractor and measure 40 measure the length of a line is equal to 45 degree like this. Okay, now you are going to draw a line over here 45 degree, and keeping the protractor the same position in the opposite direction also one has to measure 45 degree. That means one has to draw two lines. One is at 45 degree to the clockwise direction and anti-clockwise direction. These two constructional lines are supposed to be drawn, and afterwards take your compass, using the compass with 2H pencils, and the radius value must be equal to 3.5 boxes like this. The radius value must be equal to 3.5 boxes like this, and then draw a constructional arc over here, and without changing the radius and the center point, draw one more arc over here like this. Okay, upon drawing which, without changing the radius, keep the center of the compass at this location, then draw one more arc over here, and at the opposite direction where we have drawn the previous arc, again without changing the radius, and draw one more arc over here. Now using your HB pencils, now you connect all the 4 points. Now you can see we are going to get the required square of 35 millimeter, which is a corner resting. Since we are dealing with the pyramids. So we are supposed to show this lines as a dark lines. This lines is nothing but this is going to represent the slant edges. Drawing these two diagonal represent the slant edges of the pyramid. Now let me complete the annotation part and show you to you guys to save the time over here in the video. Now you guys can see that I have completed the annotation parts, that is representing the apex or the vertex and the base corners. Along with the dimensioning, I have completed in the top view. Now to get the front view, we need to draw the projectors, which you can see the 3 projectors has been already drawn. And then we have to identify the position of the axis. Now the axis position O1 will be at this location. Now using our 2H pencils, now one can draw the height of the axis as 6 boxes. Why 6 boxes? You can see that the height of the axis is given as 60 millimeter. Henceforth, up to 6 boxes, draw an axis line like this. And then you can complete the annotation part here to avoid the confusion. So this is going to be representing A dash, then followed by we have B dash as well as D dash as well as O1 dash according to the top view what we have completed. And then here we will be having the corner C dash and the apex position is going to be named as O dash. Now to complete the front view, now you can see that using your HB pencils, complete the boundary line. What is a boundary line? The base is going to be the boundary and connect it to the apex position O dash to A dash and A dash to C dash. This is what you can see that the front view is going to look like. Now remember, in case of pyramid, always the front view is a triangle, whereas in case of a prism, the front view is going to be a rectangle. Now you can see when the observer is seeing the object from the front, OA is visible and OB is visible, OC is visible. Now you can see the axis line has to be shown as a dark line like this using the HB pencils. The reason is the line OB is visible to the observer. And then without forgetting the thing, you are supposed to complete the annotation parts and the dimensioning part like this. Now one can say that the first stage is completed in all aspects. And afterwards, now you can see that it is resting on one of its corners, okay? Which is the resting corner when we are going to rotate this lamina in the clockwise direction. When we are rotating this solid in the clockwise direction, now you can see the resting corner is going to be the C dash. Now when the C dash is going to be the resting corner, the base is supposed to be inclined at an angle of 90 minus theta. So 90 minus theta, that is nothing but theta angle is 40 degree. So here there is a small mistake. Now the base inclination is supposed to be taken as 50 degree. Now with respect to the base inclination as 50 degree, if you are going to start it, then the axis which is now perpendicular will become inclined to HP at an angle of 40 degree. Now let me show you how to do the same. Now you guys can see that we know that the corner C dash is going to be the resting corner. Now the base is inclined at an angle of 50 degree because the axis inclination is 40 degree. So with respect to that, base is supposed to be inclined at an angle of 50 degree. By using that one, keep a protractor at the corner C dash and measure 50 degree in the clockwise direction or 130 degree in the anti-clockwise direction, and then draw a constructional line for the base. Now the base you can see which is inclined at an angle of 50 degree. When the base is inclined at an angle of 50 degree, obviously axis will be inclined at an angle of 40 degree. Now to get the front view reconstructed, take your compass, measure the length of C dash to A dash using the compass. I repeat, measure the length of C dash A dash using the compass. Now with C dash as the center, without changing the radius, draw a constructional arc over here which is as shown. Now that point is going to be called as A dash. Now in the same fashion, to get the position of O dash, we know that the distance from O dash to C dash has to be measured using the compass, and the distance will be same to the O dash A dash also. Now you can see that with A dash as the center, now without changing the radius, I'm going to draw a constructional arc over here. Now in the same fashion, again, without changing the radius, with C dash as the center, I'm going to draw one more arc over here, and the intersection point, we are going to mark this as O dash. Now, this is what the three different points which completes the boundary, and then remaining B dash, D dash, O1 dash has to be obtained in the same fashion. Let me complete it and show it to you guys. Yes, guys, now you can observe that just to save the time in the video over here, I'm just completed it and I'm showing it to you guys. And afterwards, using your scale and pencil, since the axis inclination is given in the question, draw a line which is parallel to this line like this, and then show that the angle of this axis is 40 degree in your booklets. This is what the actual representation should be shown. Okay. And to get the top view, now what you're supposed to do is you have to repeat the same procedure. That is, draw the vertical projector from passing through the O dash, and then get the same vertical projector passing through the top view of O dash. And upon obtaining the respective things, we have to locate it properly. And then after locating it, we are going to mark this point as O dash. In the same fashion, draw all the projectors and complete the annotation part, which I am going to show you to you guys after completing it. The procedure remains same for all the remaining projectors. Now you guys can see that I have completed drawing all the projectors, which is similar to drawing the vertical projector of O and vertical and horizontal projectors. And in the same fashion, I have completed all the remaining parts. And now we have to apply the rules of visibility. Now, what is the first point says? The boundary lines are always visible. So according to it, using your HB pencils, identify the boundary lines. Which are the boundary lines? Now, starting with A to B, B to O, and O to D, and D to A is going to be the boundary line. Next, identify that the base is visible or invisible. If visible, make those base edges as visible edges, else make it invisible. Now, according to this point, now we have to identify whether the base is visible. Now, when the observer is seeing the object from the top, the observer is above the position of the apex. Now, apex is nearer to the observer and the base is away from the observer, hence it is invisible. So according to this point, we are supposed to make those base edges or invisible edges. Now, using HB pencils, the base edges CD as well as DB should be shown as invisible. However, some students may ask, why can't we connect BA and AD are also as invisible edges? Now, you can observe, according to the first point, the boundary lines are always visible. Henceforth, even though the base edges are not visible, which comes on the boundary line must be visible. And after which, the third point says that such of the slant edges, either partially or completely, passing through the visible base are invisible and vice versa. Now, if I am going to connect the slant edge OA, which is passing inside the invisible edge, henceforth, the OA is going to be shown as the visible edge over here. But however, the line OC is going to be the invisible, but since OA is going to overlap on OC, even though OC is invisible, we cannot represent it. By this, I can say that the second stage is completed in all aspects. Now let us move on to the third stage. Now, for the third stage, it is clearly mentioned in the question that is appears to be inclined to 45 degree. That is, the axis which is inclined to HP at an angle of 40 degree appears to be inclined to VP at an angle of 45 degree. That is, the angle beta is given. Now, one can see that the length of the axis is getting reduced, but the given angle is also the apparent angle. Now, one can see that the apparent length is 45.96, which is measuring. Now, since the apparent angle is given as directly, so we need not to construct it, we will complete it as it is. For which, I am going to show you the procedure. Now, using a pen and a scale, pencil and a scale, sorry, draw a construction line which is parallel to XY line like this, and then locate a point anywhere on this line and measure 45 degree with respect to the XY line like this. And after drawing this 45-degree line like this, now one can ask, why can't we start with the XY line? Yes, you can start with the XY line, but in some of the conditions, what happens, whatever the solid what we have constructed may crosses the XY line, or it may passes outside the booklet. Henceforth, we are doing this construction and it is not mandatory. Okay. Now, what we are supposed to do is we have to locate the points. What are the points to be located? Axis O1 and O should be located on the 45-degree line over there. Now, locate a point anywhere on the 45-degree line what we have drawn, and that point is going to be marked as O1. Now, using your protractor, using your compass, measure the distance between O1 and O. Using your compass, measure the distance of O1 and O with O1 as the center, and on the 45-degree line, you are supposed to draw an arc, and once you get an arc over there, locate one more point over there, which will be called as the point O. Now, to get the remaining corners, that is D and B, now let me show you how to get it using the arc technique. Now, we know that what is O1. Now, with O1, measure the distance of D1. Using the compass, with O1, measure the distance of D1. Now, with O1, without changing the radius, now let me draw a constructional arc over here. Now, in the same fashion, measure the same point D with the help of O using the compass. Now, upon this measurement, that is, with O, we are supposed to measure the D. We are supposed to get this measurement, and with O as the center, without changing the radius, now we are supposed to draw an arc here. The intersection point is going to be marked as D. In the same fashion, obtain A, B, and C, and I'm going to complete it and show it to you guys over here in the video. Now you guys can see that I have completed the reconstruction of second stage top view at the third stage with respect to the given condition, that is appears to be inclined to 45 degree. And now to get the front view, what is the procedure we have to follow? We have to draw the projectors from the stage top view, that is, now let me draw a projector from O here, and let me draw a projector from O here, and the intersection point we are going to call it as O dash. In the same fashion, let me complete all other projectors and show it to you guys. Yes, guys, now you can see that I have completed the annotation parts and I am representing the respective corners, which is as shown in the figure. Now, according to the rules of visibility, we are supposed to complete the boundary lines first. Now, using your HB pencils, start completing the boundary. Let us take the corner D dash, then followed by A dash is going to be the boundary, then followed by O dash. Now here you may be having a confusion whether it is B dash or C dash. Now you just pass through both the corners using your scale. Now you can see that B dash is slightly inside, henceforth C dash is going to be the boundary, and then complete it to the D dash. Now this can say that the boundary is completed. Now we have to identify which is the visible base. Now when the observer is seeing this object from the front, now from the front, the base is nearer to the observer. Hence, the base must be visible. Now, using your HB pencils, make the base edges as visible edges. And at last, such of the slant edges either passing partially or completely inside the visible base are invisible, and vice versa. Now, if you can see that OA and OC forms the boundary, and then the remaining two edges, the slant edges, are OD and OB. Now, OD, if I'm going to connect it, now you can see it is partially passing inside the visible base. Hence, this must be an invisible edge. And in the same fashion, vice versa means the line which is passing outside the visible base must be visible. That is, O dash B dash is supposed to be visible. And at last, but not the least, the axis representation O dash to O1 dash is supposed to be completed. Now one can say that the problem is completed in all aspects. If you're having any sort of doubts to solve this problem, you can feel free to contact me. And if you liked this video, please press a like button, and you can share and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to make more and more videos on this subject. And once again, thank you for visiting my channel. And once again, if you're having any sort of doubts, please feel free to communicate to me. Thank you very much for visiting my YouTube channel, and keep learning, stay safe.